It's Chris K. My bad. I'm over here yawning and stuff.
So guys, today, we're just going to give you a quick live stream, basically surrounding the topic of not giving in, don't succumb, and there's many things that I can't even talk. There's many things that you could succumb to, and I'm going to let Kane talk about a few things, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. We'll probably talk for the span of 2 Cold War games, 1 to 2 max. I know Kane's got to get running soon, so we're going to keep this nice and short, but make sure you guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share it to your grandma. Other than that, Kane, start it off, man. You want to, and Kane, I would say don't just give him advice. Maybe if you have a story or an example, try to give them some examples and stuff. We got to give them some perspective.
Yeah, so me being a spiritual person, I know there's a lot of other spiritual people out there. And when I say spiritual, I mean talking about like followers of Christ, not just any type of spiritual. But I almost gave in to my fleshly desires earlier. I mean, I had porn on the browser, I had my dick in my hand, I was about to finish and everything. And then God sent me a notification on TikTok because He knew that I would look at it. And so I did. And then next thing I know, I didn't finish, thankfully. And I realized, I was like, bro, what am I doing? I got to stop this because, I mean, it's a sin. I don't want to sin. You know? I mean, nobody's perfect. We all fall to our own fleshly desires and our worldly desires. And it sucks because, sadly, that's the world that we've been born into, is a world of sin. So it's really hard for me and other people to not succumb to worldly desires.
Yeah, by the way, bro, your mic sounds really terrible right now. Like, towards the end, your mic sounds really nasally, so if you can adjust your mic or something like that. I know we're on PlayStation, that's why quality's not the same, but...
Does it sound better?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Probably because my mic wasn't really close to my mouth.
Now it's starting to fade away. It's like you start fading away. So I would check the YouTube stream, and if it sounds good on there, don't even worry about it. If you have a second, just check the YouTube stream.
Yeah, I'm about to take cover.
I just don't want you to do all that talking, you know what I'm saying? And no one hears you.
We're losing advantage. Enemy counter spy plane inbound. Enemy spy plane inbound. We're in the lead. Flashbang going out.
So, like, what are your thoughts on that, though?
Alright, before I start, how's your audio sound?
It sounds right. It's a little echoey, but it's not nasally.
Alright, my thoughts on it, man, is just being in control. I mean, whether you're spiritual or not, I'm not going to throw that on you if you're not. That's up to you, but the way I look at it is just not giving in to urges. Like, you know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, and you know what's convenient for you. And everything that's convenient for you isn't necessarily the best option. So it's like, it's almost like being self-aware is a superpower, and being able to say no is a superpower. So like when you want to do certain things, whatever addiction it is, first you have to find a solution to replace that addiction, and then you have to take a conscious effort to do whatever it is that's going to replace that, because you can't just cold turkey quit something without having another passion or some other addiction. We all have addictions to something, whether it's good or bad. So for instance, I'm not going to say why I was drinking these energy drinks, but I was drinking Bang energy drinks 4 days out of a 7-day week. I was drinking Bang energy drinks 4 days out of a 7-day week, and it's recommended, I forgot what guidelines, but the health shit, that you're only supposed to have 400 milligrams of caffeine a day before you start feeling side effects. Now I was pushing it pretty close, because there's 300 milligrams of caffeine and one bang, and you're not even thinking about other forms of caffeine that you might be consuming. So you're
Right.
so you might be even pushing it. But even just with that, just over time, what people got to realize is with certain things that you're doing that aren't really good for your health, and this is just using an example, is there's not a lot
Yeah.
of data on these energy drinks. So even though they say they're good for you now and that they do this and this and that, they don't have enough data to tell you what bad things it's going to do to you later. So you can't
Right.
just be doing these things just thinking that, you know, you're going to be the one that defies the odds, because when it comes out that this is doing this and there's a mass recall on this because of that, now you're going to be shit out of luck. So I
Yeah.
found something to replace that. Like I said, you have to find something to replace that, which currently for me is green tea. It doesn't have as much caffeine, but it gives me caffeine and it's good for your body. So it's like I had to find something else to replace that, because just wanting to stop energy drinks wasn't enough. Water wasn't
Yeah.
enough. I had to find something that would supplement that. So anything that you want to give into, you don't want to give into, you got to find something to replace that. So
Yeah.
that's what I do, is you got to find something that substitutes.
Enemy spy plane
Yeah.
inbound.
And another example of being addicted to stuff is I used to be addicted to tobacco and cigarettes and stuff. I used to smoke like a pack a day, and I wanted to quit, so I decided to try out a puff bar. You know, and puff bars are nice. They're still not really good, I guess, good for you, but they don't have like the tobacco plants and all the extra stuff that they put in, like they do cigarettes and cigars and stuff.
Yeah, so like you said, he found a substitution. What do you think, what's your thoughts on not giving into like emotional urges?
Emotional urges?
How do you deal with that?
Give me an example for the emotional
For
urge.
instance, say, you know, not too long ago your car got towed. If that happened
Oh,
today,
yeah.
if that happened today, how would you have handled it better emotionally? Like, instead of being so reactive to it, like almost to a level to where you're about to explode, what could you do differently going forward?
Learn
Because I
from the
remember how
mistake.
angry you were, but you're not the same
Oh, yeah,
person
dude,
you
I
were.
wanted,
You're
I
not the
wanted to
same
go,
person you were then, though.
yeah, I wanted to go slice their tires. I was mad. But,
Yeah, so, but that's, you know, even though you're very frustrated about that, and there's a reason to be frustrated, it's weak, because it makes you
Yeah.
vulnerable. It makes you very
Yeah.
reactive. And what people gotta understand is, I deal with this even on Instagram, and I'm gonna let you talk, but like, when people say negative things, you know what they want. They want
yeah,
attention. So whenever you respond to them, you give them that dopamine, bro. So like, you just gotta, and you give them control over you, because they realize that they can say this or that and it'll get your attention. So they really do have control over you, and people don't realize that. So it's just sometimes not giving a response, you know.
yeah.
But what do you think
That's why
about
a lot
handling
of, that's
that?
why a lot of times they try to say something sick to me, like out in public or something. I ignore them, because there's no point in responding to negative energy, because at that point you're giving them control over you.
Yeah, and I feel the in-person ignore thing, but if someone touches me, that's a whole different
Oh
story.
yeah, that's a whole different story. But if someone's just talking, there's no point in even responding to them.
Yep.
Now,
'Cause-
unless they say something about like if you got kids and they say they're gonna go spit in your kid's mouth, that's a whole different story. Then you gotta check them on that. But if
Yeah.
they're just talking garbage to you, there's no point in just even responding. Because then
Yeah.
at that point, like I said, they have control over you, and they can.
But back
They
to the
can make
example,
you
give me a way that you could deal with that differently. I mean, obviously you're gonna be upset by that. Your car got towed, you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
pay the money for it, but how would you deal with it differently? I guess you would say outward. Inward is one thing, but how would you deal with it outward? How would you express it outwardly? If that makes sense.
I would take a step back and realize, okay, why did it get towed? I mean, obviously I know why it gets towed, but I mean, I just gotta sit there and think, like, is it worth it or not? And it's not worth it. So, and it's my fault too. If I park somewhere you're not supposed to, and you get towed, that's your fault. So really, you can't even be mad at the person who towed it. So you just
Yeah,
gotta
so
kind of
it's-
take a step back and
Hey,
look
you
in
have to
the
play
mirror.
the game too.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
at the end of the day, you got to take a step back and look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this really my fault? It is. take responsibility for it, learn from your mistake, and move on. You
Yep.
know?
And
That
what
also
about
helps to keep
what do you
from
think
exploding.
about what do you think about as far as don't give in to urges? Like, say you have an addiction and you, for instance, you have a bedtime that's around 1:30. You know, right now
Yeah.
we're doing a video, so it's spilling a little bit over. We're about to wrap this up, but as far as discipline, like the urge to go past what you know you need to do, or like do less than what you know you need to do, how do you stay? How do you really try to stay on course? Like, for instance, say I was
I
going to
got
the gym for an hour and a half, right? And we don't even got to get into another game. We can just wrap this up. But I
yeah,
said
but
I was
no, I
going
got
to the
it.
gym for an hour and a half, and I set a timer. And when it came, I worked as hard as I could in an hour and a half. And when it came time to go, I just left. And that's harder than people think,
Oh yeah.
especially when you love doing what you're doing. Like if you're playing a
I
game or hooping.
I actually have a perfect example of that. Earlier today at work, you know, every night before we go home, we got to make a cardboard bale. And my coworker's like, you know, well, we should just leave it because the morning shift don't ever make the bale for us. And it was like, yeah, but and I wanted to leave it too because it was just about time to clock out and go home. But then I looked at him and I said, but no, because you know, at the end of every night, we have to make a bale anyways because this is what we're supposed to do. So I took my happy ass behind there, grabbed the bale wire, and started making the bale. It sucked because it could have been a lot easier to go home, but that wouldn't have been the right thing to do, you know. So
But
I'd rather.
what about when you're doing something that you enjoy and you're trying to stay disciplined? How do you make that conscious effort? Like, because here's the easy answer: just do it. But what mental mind Jedi mind trick do you do to yourself? Like,
So for me,
what do you
I'll
tell
use
yourself when that
I'll
time
use
hits?
I'll use Call of Duty as an example. So
This is the last game,
say
for instance. This is the last game.
yeah. So I'll be playing Call of Duty, and when I look at the time and I see that it's like 125, 130, and I want to play another game, I have to stop and think about, am I going to get enough sleep or not? Because I have work in the next day, and I'd rather be able to get enough sleep to go to work and do what I have to do than go to work like a zombie. So it's
Yeah,
really
but that's the easy
for
answer,
me.
though. That's the easy
Right,
answer, though.
right.
A lot of
But
people will still be like, "Oh, it'll be good if I get 2 hours. I can
oh
get out."
yeah, I
You know how
know.
you can trick yourself. How do
I've been
you
like
out
that
trick
too.
yourself? How do you out? Because you know how you just said something good,
The way
but if we're
that the
being
way
real,
that
you know there's some days where you're like, I'll just get two
oh
hours of
yeah,
sleep, or I'll
oh
use
yeah.
I'll call it. Like you know how that shit is.
But the way I do it is I look at long term. What's going to happen long term if I don't go to bed now? And
Yeah.
it sucks because I really want to keep going, but at the same time, you got to think about the long term consequences that you're going to suffer.
Hmm.
That's what I do. Force me to do what I need to do. Think about the long term consequences.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll help anybody or not, but that's what I do.
Okay. Bet.
After I
Interesting.
get off of this game, I'm gonna go to bed because I got work tomorrow. You know, I don't want to go to bed, but I got to force myself to go to bed.
Yep. And the way that I
It's
look at
all
it,
it's all in the mental self.
the way that I look at it, bro, is it's a balance.
Yeah,
Like, because me, oh man, F this guy. But me, I want to do so many things. But it's like, there's a couple of things that I have to do every day. You know?
yeah,
Like, I have to do it every day because I want it to grow. So in order for a plant to grow, you gotta water it.
yeah,
So if you're not watering the plant and you're upset that it's not growing, guess whose fault that is? It's not the plant's fault. It's your fault.
Nope.
So that's why I'm like, every day in life, you know, whatever I say, if I know something's super time consuming, but I have to do this later, or I want to do this before I do this, it's like, okay, put a time limit on it. And what I do, because I trick myself. If I just say I'm leaving at this time, dude, I'm not leaving at that time. But if I set a
yeah,
timer that goes off at that time, and I hear it and I see it, it's up to you at that point. And if you make the
Yep.
choice to keep going, you're just a weak bitch.
yeah.
And I've been a weak bitch.
Oh yeah, we've all been a weak bitch before.
So, like I said, that's what I do, guys. You know, you could either use Kayne's approach or you could use my approach, or you can come up with your own and let us know what you do in the comment section. But guys,
Yeah.
more of the story is, don't give in to your urges. You're stronger than that. Kayne, you got any last words?
We've lost the lead.
For the urges, honestly, you know, I know there's not. I think you guys might be watching this. You know, you might not be spiritual like I am, or like. So I just ask God, take this away from me. You know, so it's always good to talk to God. You know.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah.
good
For
to
all
try
those
and listen
believers out there,
and talk
that's
back.
another thing that has helped me more than anything. Like I said, to believers out there, just asking God to give me the strength or like the clarity or whatever I'm requesting. I just ask for it.
We don't have the mental, physical, or emotional strength to do all that stuff on our own. We need help.
Yep. So that's another thing that I do. You know, some of you believe in meditation, some of you believe in Buddha, but personally, I ask God. So yeah, that's all I got. I don't got nothing else. Kayne, you got anything else you want to add before we call it?
That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great night. Remember, the
I hope
force
this
is with
helps
you.
anybody out there that needs a way to overcome their urges.
And as always, way more content on the way.
Yep.
We're gonna be putting out so much content within the next few days. You guys just got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? It's there. I don't give a damn if you watch it now or later, but just understand that all the ones that are supporting now, we see it, we recognize it, we appreciate it, and all the ones sitting on the side waiting to see what happens, we appreciate you too. You hating ass motherfucker. You'll never be a part of this shit. But anyways, yeah, have a great time. Remember, the force is with you. Don't be a hoe. Yeah, and Kayne, you got
Share with
anything
your
else to
mama,
say?
your grandma, your auntie, your sister, your mom, your dad. Share with your friends, your family.
Yep, and to all you women going on the sex,
The
what is it
sex
called?
strike.
To all you girls going on the sex strike,
Keep your legs closed.
good luck with that, cause I know you be in you know what I'm saying, in your bedroom doing yoga poses, doing the splits up on that schlong. So good luck trying not to do that for 24 hours, cause I know that's a challenge for you. Don't give in to your urges, ho. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Peace out.
Well, hello there. Oh shit.
Bro.